California has long been known as the film and entertainment capital of the world, but in recent years, a significant number of productions have left the Golden State and are being produced in other parts of the United States, as well as other countries. This has meant a loss of jobs, talent, and much-needed tax revenue for the California economy. Nowhere was the competition more evident than at the recent 2013 Association of Film Commissioners International Location Expo held in Los Angeles. Representatives from 23 states and 35 countries were in town to lure film productions away from California. Where once they offered only unique locations and pretty landscapes, the competitors now have money, and lots of it, mostly in the form of lucrative tax incentives.
A lot of the big budget U.S. studio movies have been coming to the UK for the past few years. Obviously, tax incentives and money back is very valuable in terms of budgeting and bottom line.
Right now we have about 10 productions being filmed right now. We just finished our post-production with Planet of the Apes, and things are keep on going. We're looking strong.
We have a lot of regular clients that we see returning to the state with new projects. We've started to broaden our base in terms of people's interest in coming in shooting in Texas.
Tax incentives mean millions and often billions of dollars for the coffers of different locales. And for film producers, incentives can make or break a production.
I have not worked in this city in the last 8 years. If you do not get the film incentive, you do not work here. It's as simple as that.
And at the end of the day, they're business people, and they need to make their product for the most effective, cost-effective way they can. And if that means they can make a $100 million film for $60 million in Michigan because they saved $40 million because there's a 40% incentive to go there, who would not go there?
In 2009, the California State Legislature enacted a $100 million film and tax credit to help curb runaway productions. The problem? It wasn't enough to compete.
We had 380 applications for this incentive on day one and only had money for 30. And can you imagine the economic impact if we were truly competing and truly bringing this work back to California? We could change things overnight for the employment picture in this state.
The competition is real and growing. New York is a prime example. Recent surges in television and film productions have added over 100,000 new jobs for the Big Apple.
New York State has been very active in building and establishing and expanding its film credits. The fact that New York went through a lengthy review and then upped its film credits to $430 million a year says a great deal, and about the fact that New York as a state sees the value in it.
Other locations are benefiting as well.
Last year, I think we had over 100 films. Over 100 films in production.
In terms of being able to take advantage of the tax credit and whether it's film or now high-end drama, there's a huge incentive just for being in the UK because generally, you can shoot quite cheaply, crews are really economical and do some great work.
The news for California is not that good.
Well, we've lost over 50% of the feature film work we had back in 1996. And on the television side, for the first time in history, we produced less than half last year, and this year it looks like it'll be only about 40%.
Under these circumstances, how long will California be able to call itself the entertainment capital of the world?
It's hard to call yourself the capital when you're making less than 50% of the product. We don't have much time left to bring this industry back and keep it here before the infrastructure, the crews, the vendors, and the studio systems have moved out of the state, and then we have nothing left for this industry to call home.